Alright, Mr. Yoda, this device will be recording us as I speak to you about your experiences. Now, please tell me about your time in Vietnam.
The South Vietnamese region. The studio sent us out. They did. Condom commercials. They wanted us to film. Safe it would be. They told us.
Condom commercials.
Yes. Jungle wrap rubbers. A jungle it is out there. Wrap it up you must. Their slogan that was. Paid well, I would have been. And some Asian booty. Hit on the side I could have.
I see. But it wasn't safe, as we both know. Tell me about the initial experience when you were captured by the Viet Cong.
An explosion while in the middle of filming there was. Bright and loud, and off my feet I was knocked. Later, woke up I did, to find a captive I now was, upon a truck, a Vietnamese rice field, being transported to. The survivors were.
Near the Mekong River Delta.
Yes, for years hard labor I served in the Vietnamese rice fields. Rescued years later I was, by the U.S. Army.
I've heard of these rice fields. Prisoners of war were used as forced labor upon them by the Viet Cong, working 18-hour days to produce enough food to feed their soldiers. The owners and their watchmen were strict and demanding upon their victims.
Indeed. Several prisoners of war recognized I have there. Soldiers, they were, of the American forces. However, among them, betrayers they were. Traitors.
Traitors? You mean defectors?
Yes. American POWs, some of them defected they had. Military secrets they divulged. Privileges in return they received.
What kinds of privileges do you speak of?
One of them allowed they were to watch over us. Cal Kestis, the great betrayer.
I'm familiar with him. I pulled up his records prior to our meeting, Mr. Yoda. Corporal Cal Candyman Kestis. Crimes include desertion, sedition, and torture of fellow American POWs. Rescued American POWs described him as working with his Viet Cong captors as an interpreter and was even allowed free rein to go where he pleased. Whereabouts unknown but still believed to be alive. You've had contact with him?
Yes. During my imprisonment. Many times. Many years. Tortured I was by him mentally and physically.
Elaborate on your relationship with Cal in Vietnam, please.
My first few weeks. Seen Cal I did not. Only my Viet Cong captors. By other POWs, told I was about him. Then, in the fields I was one day, while working, a rifle butt against the back of my head I felt. Cal, behind me he was. And then, at me, he yelled to work harder, or consequences I would suffer.
Was Cal the only deserter working with the Viet Cong, or were there others?
No, there is another. With a whip, armed they were. The other POWs, beaten they were, by him. Cruel and brutal. Far worse than Cal they were.
Who is this monster you speak of?
Goofy.
Only one deserter with that name matches our records. Private Second Class Goofy Dog, also known as Goofy, first arrived in Vietnam in March 12th of 1966 at China Beach. How did he come to desertion and working with the Viet Cong?
The answers, no I do not. My memory fails me.
Unfortunate. Can you tell me about the things he's done to you and the other POWs at the rice fields?
Yes, clearly remember that. I do. The rice, harvesting I was by hand. Tools we were not allowed to have. Blistered and bruised my hands were, and sunburnt. It was then the whip I felt at my back Into my skin it tore. Remember his words I do. Said, harvest faster I must, or goofy time it was going to be for me. Sorry I am. The memories, still powerful they are.
That's quite alright. I understand that Goofy is still AWOL and hasn't been found to this day. Still a wanted man for his crimes. It's believed he's still assisting the Vietnamese labor camps in the River Delta region.
The answer to that? No, I do not. Long it has been since my rescue. The years slipped the way they did until arrived the U.S. Army had. Cal and Goofy got away. They did.
Mr. Yoda, I have some news for you. I wanted to tell you that through my private research in my own time, I had discovered the location of Cal Candyman Kestis and Goofy.
You have? Stand trial they will?
Not exactly. But they do miss you terribly. You were the best worker out there in the rice fields, after all.
What? What?
Well, we missed your bunches, old buddy, old pal. It's Goofy time.
No! No!
Well, you're going back out into the rice fields. Rice paddies don't harvest themselves.
Help me, you must! Help!
Oh, I'm so sorry, Yoda. Good workers are so terribly hard to replace in Vietnam, and one that can live as long as you is invaluable. Do make sure you say hello to my friend Cal for me and tell him thanks for paying off my loans. It's greatly appreciated.
Bastards! Do this you cannot! No!